Alright, so here we have my week 1 matchup in the HPA, and today we are facing off against the Greensboro Swarm with Kapitol, and they have Excadrill, Volcarona, Keldeo, Tangrowth, Gigalith, Mandibuzz, Vikavolt, Chinchino, Ferroseed, and Mega Gardevoir. And this is the team I brought. I brought Focus Sash, Druddigon with Stealth Rock, Glare, Earthquake, Rock Slide. We have Stealth Rock, get some rocks up, get some chip on the Mons. That way Latias has a better time doing damage late game. Exploud can 2-hit kill almost everything if it gets the damage it needs to up, with the exception of Gigalith. We have Mega Medicham in the back that's always going to appreciate some extra chip. So we have the Stealth Rocks to get the chip up. We have Glare to punish any Mon that wants to come in on us. Earthquake for just a strong attack off that would hit most of the team. And Rock Slide to make sure that Volcarona cannot set up on us, as well as it hits Mandibuzz and Vikavolt. Then we have Happy Microwave, the Rotom Heat, which I brought a very bulky set. It's max HP and split defense and Spadef to take on the Volcarona, as well as the potential Mega Gardevoir if I needed to, and Vikavolt. Toxic Hex is literally the only thing that I can do to stop Volcarona from setting up in front of me, but I take enough hits to outstall it basically. We have Pain Split, get some HP back if we need to. Protect, make sure the toxic damage racks up so that Hex is doing more. Then we have Latias. Now, Latias we went with 244 speed because it outspeeds his fastest Pokemon, which is Keldeo. We have Psychic, Surf, Defog, and Recover. Defog is to make sure that our Rotom Heat is coming at full HP because of the fact that we need the leftovers to beat the Mega Gardevoir if it has Psyshock. And we can't risk having the heavy duty boots because we need that reliable recovery. So we have Defog for that. We have Surf as it's the best thing to hit most of the opponent's team that Psychic cannot. Psychic hits Keldeo, Tangrowth, Chinchino, and Vikavolt for decent damage, whereas Surf hits Excadrill, Volcarona, Gigalith, Mandibuzz, and Mega Gardevoir for decent damage. We have Recover for longevity, and we're just max special attack with this. That way we're doing the most amount of damage as possible, because Lati is naturally bulky enough to take hits from the Pokemon it needs to, which in this case was Keldeo, because Keldeo is the only thing that Rotom Heat cannot wall on its own. Next we have Choice Scarf, Exploud. Because of the opponent's speed tiers, Exploud outspeeds everything with modest Scarf, because it reaches 352 speed, with the fastest Pokemon being Keldeo. We have Boom Burst, Flamethrower, Surf, Ice Beam. These are more of just if needed. Flamethrower was just in case they brought Ferroseed. Surf was for the Gigalith if we need to. And Ice Beam is just there, just because it's always good to have Ice Beam. But Boom Burst is the main button that this is going to be clicking. Then we have the Mega Medicham. Now, as I said in my draft analysis, Mega Medicham is a Pokemon I really want to use because of the insane amount of moves that it carries. It just has so many options. And for this one, because of the fact that Mega Gardevoir is something that can really threaten this Pokemon, I have Fake Out and Bullet Punch. Fake Out. Minimum damage that Fake Out does. To Mega Gardevoir. If it is offensive, we have Fake Out doing 37.5 to 44, with Bullet Punch doing 75 to 88. Now, of course, he could have brought easily a bulky set, but even still, we're guaranteeing an Oko if Stealth Rock, not an Oko. We're guaranteeing a kill on Mega Medicham if Stealth Rocks are up. We have Drain Punch to hit almost everything on their team for good damage and get HP back. We have Rock Tomb to make sure that Volcarona does not set up us, as well as Vikavolt. And then finally we have Celesteela. Celesteela was a defensive Celesteela because naturally we can take decent hits from Mega Gardevoir. We have Heavy Slam, punish the switches. We have Protect, get some leftovers back. We have Flamethrower and Leech Seed. This is just more of just to get HP back. That way Celesteela is lasting longer. But I was really excited to use this team. I think that it had a very good matchup against the opponent. The biggest thing that I was scared of was Keldeo, just because of the amount of damage Keldeo can put out with its speed tier. So now we're going to go into the game. So we're starting off. Whoop. So we're starting off the game. Okay. So we start off the game with Gigalith versus Druddigon. And from here, I thought that he was going to get up rocks, so I took this as a free turn to set up my own Stealth Rocks. Glare would have been a fine play as well, but I didn't want to risk it being a waste of a turn. Because I have Focus Sash, and knowing he's either going to switch or throw up rocks, I go for the Stealth Rocks. And now from here, I'm free to press Glare. It's going to punish everything on his team, with the exception of Vikavolt. As much as I thought that Vikavolt would still get Glare, because I forgot that Glare no longer affects electric types. But other than Vikavolt, we can Glare everything else on the team. So we go for that. He protects. At this point, I'm just going to throw off another one. It's not worth over predicting. And then from here, I actually thought he was going to switch. Now, expecting the Vikavolt, I should have just Rock Tomb if that was what I was predicting. But I thought Glare was a fair play, just because anything else could have came in here and just taken Druddigon. At least it could have worn down the usefulness of Druddigon. If Mandibuzz came in, getting the Glare on Mandibuzz means that basically everything on my team can kind of pressure it because of either paralyzing hacks or just the speed drop in general. Because it means that my non-invested Rotom can do more damage against him. So he shows Smackdown. With Smackdown, I actually thought, because I was looking at the animation instead of the chat, I thought that the Smackdown was just Rock Throw. But it's a great tech because it punishes anything that can come in on this, which would have been Celesteela. So he goes for Earthquake, he's doing 35. I do Earthquake, I'm doing 47. Goes for Smackdown again, predicting my Celesteela. But here I go for Smackdown. Here I go Celesteela. He switches Vikavolt. I sack off the Druddigon to make sure that he's not getting any momentum. Now here I send in. So, after Druddigon is sacked, I send out Exploud. From here, it's a good roll to kill. So Exploud versus Vikavolt. If it is an offensive Vikavolt, or if it's just max HP, Boomburst has a chance to kill. Because right now he's at 76. So at 76, that's a 50-50. It's a 50% chance to kill, but he can't kill me with any one move unless he is like a spec set. So I throw off the Boomburst. I do 49. That tells me that this is a defensive Mandibuzz rather than a Spadef. So I'm just going to go for Boomburst again. It's not a roll. Exploud versus Mandibuzz. So if it's defensive, it's doing 48 to 57. So if he got a very, very min roll, yes, he could have lived. But then, sent out Gigalith. The most I can do with Boomburst here is 17%, which doesn't make it worth it for me to stay in. So I just go straight into Celesteela. He goes for Smackdown, does good damage. I know that he can throw it off Earthquake, but the Earthquake's going to do around 40 to 50. If I get the Leech Seed off, I'm basically taking that damage and completely nullifying it with Protect. So he shows the Earthquake. I'm guessing he predicted me to switch out, so he goes into Extra Drill. I missed the Leech Seed, which would have basically meant that that Extra Drill would have been even lower. So to protect the Leech Seed again, he goes for Sub on my switch to Lottie. I'm going to reveal the Surf here. I can take one hit from Extra Drill and then threaten it out next turn. So my Latias against Extra Drill if it is Life Orb. Okay. So I'm at 88. It was a roll to kill me, but not a roll in his favor. In fact, it wasn't a roll at all because I was at 94%, unless he's adamant. But with that being said, I just need to break the Sash. I can't risk this Extra Drill sitting behind a Sash and potentially getting set up with either Sword Stance or a Rapid Spin to get that speed. He knows I outspeed him, so he's going to switch into Gigalith and sack it off. Now, from here, I just want to get my Latias back to full HP. Because I know the Gigalith only has Smackdown Earthquake to attack me, he has to go for Smackdown first. And because he's paralyzed, there's always a chance of a para. But regardless, it's not doing enough damage to Latias to warrant me switching out. So I'm just going to keep recovering up, get to as most HP as possible. From here, I should have just surfed, but I want to make sure that the rest of my team is fully set up to be able to take the rest of what he has left. So I default, get the rocks off. As much as I would love rocks myself, I need to make sure that I didn't have rocks anymore. So from here, it's just going to be a stall battle basically until I'm at a better HP that I think that I want to kill the Gigalith. So from here I go Celesteela. I couldn't protect here because I couldn't risk him being him being a subset or even a Calm Mindset. So I just sack off Celesteela here to whatever they're going to do. If I live, then I'll just go for the Heavy Slam, but now from here I get to use my tech. I go for the Fake Out, get 42%, and from here it's a guaranteed kill with Bullet Punch. So just go for the Bullet Punch. And from here it's basically just Medicham outspeeds everything else on the team and has super effective hits. Hit the Rock Tomb, kill Vikavolt, goes into Extra Drill, reveal the Drain Punch, and finally all we're left with is Volcarona. So we're just going to go for Rock Tomb and claim the win. So we're going to get a win in the first game of the season with a 4-0 victory over the Greensboro Swarm. And it was definitely a tougher battle, more than the 4-0 shows, because of the fact that I had to play around a Volcarona in the back that I know is either going to be heavy duty boots or I just default the rocks for. So Vikavolt is always going to be an issue. I mean, Volcarona is always going to be an issue, hence why one Pokemon had coverage for it. Rotom was specifically made to take on the Volcarona. We have Surf to make sure that we're doing damage to it. Boom Burst does damage to it. We have Rock Tomb. And this we just have to switch out on. We can't take this. So everything on my team has to have Volcarona in mind. And of course, Extra Drill is always a threat. I thought that he was going to be Sand Rush on the Gigalith to make sure that Extra Drill could outspeed my team. If that was the case, this would have been a much harder matchup because that Smackdown tech was insanely good against Celesteela, which normally would wall Extra Drill infinitely. But I hope you guys enjoyed and stay tuned for the next battle next week.